Hey moms, it's Nakimi. Welcome to the channel and space for single moms navigating motherhood. And as always, we do not bash the baby daddies because, well, we are here now. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We discuss all things pertaining to single motherhood, and I am a huge advocate of mental health for single moms. So if you are a single mommy looking for a community, please subscribe. Do not forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment at the end of the video. So single mommy story time. I had a client come into the salon earlier this week, and, I don't know what it is about me, but, upon meeting me, people like to kind of just tell me their life problems, whatever it is that they have going on. And I don't know if it's because I have a healing aura or what, but whatever. So a client comes in, she's in her early 30s, and she's a single mom of one daughter. And her daughter's dad is not in the picture, right? So she's a single baby's mom. And she's been dating for a year, her boyfriend for about a year. And he has a 12-year-old son. So she was talking about all of the exciting things. I think our daughter was getting ready to turn 8 or 9, something like that. So still relatively a small child. And her boyfriend's got a 12-year-old son, and he spends every weekend with his son. Now, she goes on, of course, later on in the story to say how the baby mama is crazy, she's psychotic, she's controlling, etc., etc. And the baby mom has she's remarried and has other children by her husband. So her children are, her boyfriend's son, younger siblings. And they have a daughter which often tags along with her boyfriend when her boyfriend goes to pick up his son from school. So she mentioned that, she was kind of jealous of the fact that, his baby mom's daughter gets to go, with him and is always with him, but he hasn't bonded with her daughter yet. Right. And so I want to back up because when she said that the baby mama was crazy and toxic, and that's a lot of these men favorite thing to say. I mean, it's her favorite thing to say, right? Crazy baby mama. I thought to myself, well, if their daughter, who's not biologically your boyfriend's, feels comfortable enough and is always asking to tag along, and her husband and her, her as in the baby mom, feel comfortable, then there's got to be some type of healthy dynamic to the co-parenting relationship, right? But that's neither here nor there. So when she said that she was jealous, I kind of took it as, because her daughter's dad is not in the picture, she's really kind of wanting a man to come in and help, right? Now, she stays with her mom, which, no judgment here, because she said that, she gets help, and I'm all for it. If you are struggling and you have someone to go home to, honey, go home to your parents if they will take you and your kids in, for sure, right? But then she goes on to say, and I'm just highlighting the points here. She goes on to say that, she doesn't like his son very much based off of what she's been hearing. He has behavioral issues. And I asked her, I said, well, behavioral, is he like on the spectrum, like ADHD? And she said that she thinks that he has ADHD. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And, her birthday had just recently passed, and, her and her boyfriend did take a trip, and he got her some gifts, but she helped pay for those gifts for her birthday and the trip, right? So she basically bankrolled it, is how I kind of got that, because she was like, well, he got me some stuff. So yeah, you pretty much came out of your pocket, and no judgment here. Whatever works for you, it's your relationship, right? But she mentioned that, yeah, he just kind of got out of prison a couple of years ago. So, he's still trying to get himself on his feet. And that's when I kind of knew, okay. So I said all of that to say this. I wanted to kind of break this story down into twofold. Number one, not every bonus mom or girlfriend that wants to be a bonus mom is ideal. is healthy for, your child. And I'm speaking to the dads that are out there, as well as the baby mamas who have their children now have a bonus mom, or a dad has a girlfriend, right? The mere fact that everything has been laid out for this woman, right? You know that he has a child with behavioral issues. Yeah. And I did tell her, I said, well, I asked her, has she met the son? And she said no, but he's met her daughter once. So I said, well, you probably want to meet the son, because you want to know, is this behavioral issue like violence, or, is it just, it could be medicated? Like, what exactly are behavioral issues are we talking about? Now, we have to keep in mind, right? And I don't think that she thought about this. Number one, the dad did time in prison. I don't know how long he went away for. I don't know what he went away for. Wasn't any of my business. But it sounds like to me, the mere fact that he is spending every weekend with his son, he is definitely trying to be the best dad that he can be, right? And you as a newcomer, you should never, ever, right, try and come in between that. And for the words to roll off of her tongue to say that I'm jealous, you know what I mean, of the little girl that gets to tag along, lets me know that you're not mature enough. Now, she also mentioned that she's told her boyfriend to tell his son that he should be grateful that he gets to spend every weekend with his dad, because she doesn't get to spend as much time. Now, remember when I told you she stayed with her mom? So the boyfriend comes over on Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays when her mom is gone, and then they get Sundays together. So in my mind, I'm already questioning, well, maybe he's got someone else, because yeah, I don't know. You have set days, and she mentioned like he doesn't answer the phone. Said all of that to say, be careful. And if you are a woman that is dating a man with children, you've got to be ready for being put on the back burner sometimes, because especially if you're not his wife, and you guys are not living together. And so when the kids come over, you guys are kind of like a family. You guys are in a family dynamic. When you're just dating someone and you feel like you can't get the time that you want, that's something that you have to ask yourself, because see, it's all been laid out. You've got to open your eyes and use your head and not your heart, because loving that man is not going to be enough. And the good Lord is already showing her, right? This son has behavioral issues. So you've got to start questioning now, especially as a mother yourself, right? Is this going to be safe for me and my daughter? Yeah. And then, their favorite thing to say is the baby mama is crazy. Well, if she's psychotic and she's not in an asylum, you really got to say, is this something that I want to deal with? Because there are bitter baby mamas that are out there that are out to make the new girlfriend's life a living hell. Yeah. I don't want to come outside. This is me. I don't want to come outside and my tires are slashed, right? I don't want to deal with, little Jadarius coming over and I'm the bonus mom, and, his mom, Sabrina, has poisoned him against me. Yeah. I don't want to feel like this child needs so much love and attention because of whatever they have going on that I don't get my quality time with my man. You know what I mean? And I don't want to ever feel that way. You know what I mean? So I think that when everything has been laid out before you, you are choosing to step into that situation. And as a newcomer, this man already has a schedule with his son, which is every weekend. They're bonding, they're spending quality time. As a woman, that should warm your heart. Your first reaction in feelings should never be jealousy. And you should never fix your lips to say that a child should be grateful for what their parent should be doing anyway. Yeah. Being grateful is, I just bought you a brand new Ferrari at 16. That's not a necessity. You could very well go get them a Kia Sophia or whatever Kia car is out there, and that be good. Or a little Honda Civic, and you're great, right? You don't need a Ferrari. You don't need the latest Gucci attire or whatever. Like the things that we do above and beyond for our children are what we are expecting them to be grateful for. Now, when you get older, you're going to look at gratefulness different, right? Like, I'm grateful I had good parents in my life. I'm so thankful that my mom, did this and my dad did that, right? But as a child, they don't know any better. You know what I mean? They're looking for their mom and dad to lead them, to guide them, to nurture them, to care for them, to love them, to provide for them. You know what I mean? And then, the second part of it is, this guy just does not seem like he was in a position to really be there for her. You know what I mean? In the capacity that she wanted him to, because he's just got out of prison. So he's trying to get himself together. He's trying to figure out this whole dad thing, and kudos to that boyfriend, right? I love to hear it. Yes, spend time with your sons. And I think that people often forget that, number one, even though the young boy has his mom and his bonus dad, he has a father figure within the home. Number one, we don't know what that looks like, right? Number two, this young man is never going to see or know what it feels like to have his mother and dad together. His home is broken, right? Because we as people, we have a natural draw to our biological parents, especially if we know them. Yeah, we have a natural draw to them, which is why people be hurt, right? Because you love your parents. So if your parents disappoint you, you get hurted and you act out in anger. And even if you cut them off, the mere fact that they routed your emotions, there's a draw to your biological parents, right? So, it was very gut-wrenching to hear. I was very disappointed. But, I didn't say anything. Of course, it's, wasn't the place for me to give out life lessons or advice. I just, told her, well, I can understand that and things like that. But I'm telling you, if that woman goes around that son, she is going to mistreat that son. The character that is within that woman, or the character that she has, is the type that will manipulate situations and mistreat the child and make it seem like the child is just being unruly, or flip it on the baby mama, and it was just very sad that she couldn't read the room, or she didn't have discernment to know that something's up, because the mere fact that you only get Sundays and Wednesdays is also a telltale sign that maybe he's in a relationship with someone else, and maybe that daughter could be his or his girlfriend's, is what I'm thinking. Because no toxic baby mama, baby daddy, like where she's psychotic and crazy, typically aren't bonding with each other's children that are not biologically theirs, right? Like you'll typically see, the baby mama go pick up the baby daddy's new kids, and that typically means that the baby mama and the new wife are cool. Like they're just really blending in as a family. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. There's always anomalies, right? There's always the exceptions to the rules, or exceptions that disprove the rule. But I don't know, and like I said, man, if you are a dad out there and you meet a woman like that is alluding to the fact that she's jealous, or asking you when you have to spend time, or telling you to tell your kid that he needs to be grateful and things like that, you may need to 86 that, because she's looking for that man to come in and take care of her child and be there and be a father figure to her child, but also while eliminating his roles in time with his own child. That's not good, because I'm going to tell you, as single mommies, we never want a man to come in and make us feel like we have to choose between our kids and him. We're choosing our kids. Are you crazy? And the fact that they've only been dating a year, ma'am, you're not even his wife. You know what I mean? And if you guys don't work out, that's still his child. Like it was just very wild and weird to me. But so if you are dating a man with children, man, you've got to be really mature and ready. And if there is a psychotic baby mama out there, honey, good luck. I would run, but if you decide to stay and weather the storm, baby, I'll whisper a prayer for you. That is it. So Drop me a comment below. Let me guys know. Are you dating a man with children? Are you experiencing his baby mama acting unruly? Do you get jealous sometimes? I don't know. You guys let me know. But to my single mommies, you got this, mamas. I love you guys. Till next time. Bye.